up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are going to go over Clash at the Castle. It was in Glasgow, Scotland, and good God almighty. I said, Scotland, listen, this is coming from a good old Irish boy. Yep, Scotland, y'all delivered. I love you. I love you. I don't care what anyone says, I love the Celts. Now, I said this before at the last Clash of the Castle. Honestly, I feel like the Clash at the Castle show itself could be a yearly traditional thing for WWE to do. I know some people have been saying on and off they should do a WrestleMania over there, and I know at the first Clash of the Castle you had the John Cena tease saying, well, we should have WrestleMania here, this, that, and the other stuff. But honestly, I feel like Clash at the Castle, just as a standalone show, could be a standalone week-long event just there in the UK. Whether it's in England or Scotland, hell, give the next Clash at the Castle in Ireland. Just throwing it out there. But either way, I will say this. It was a hell of a show, a 5-card show, and I gotta say this also, since Triple H has been, well, pardon the old school wrestling term, but ever since Triple H has been given the pencil and is head of creative, you know, doing these having less matches on the card and giving the matches themselves more time, it's an improvement. Definitely. It's definitely an improvement from the VKM era, I will say that. In the sense of, it doesn't feel like it's such a burden having to watch 3, almost 4-hour pay-per-view and trying to squeeze in 6, maybe 7 matches. And it's just, wow, these matches actually are telling a damn good story. So, enough with the prattling on about that. Now, before I go and get into the show itself, do want to emphasize again, I am running a contest. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel and tag a snapshot showing that you subscribed, show me you did on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. If I hit 300 before SummerSlam, folks, we got Money in the Bank coming up in a couple weeks, and that's July. We got SummerSlam in August. If we get 300 before SummerSlam, I will personally, out of my own pocket, buy you a Vicious Rants shirt of your choice. It could be a Vicious Rants tank like you see me wearing now if you're watching the video. It could be a Vicious Rants t-shirt. It could be a onesie. It could be a toddler tee. It could be a woman's tee. It could be a long sleeve. Whichever shirt you want. I will pay for it. I will send it out to you. All you got to do, sub to the channel, show some support. It costs $0 to enter this, and you're helping out. So, who wouldn't want a free t-shirt? So with that said, now let's get into the show. Clash at the Castle in Glasgow. It starts out with Uncle Alan himself, AJ Styles, going up against the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes, in a I Quit match. And man, I gotta tell you, really fast back and forth at the start. Cody, he was leading the pace. And at one point, Cody, he got busted open, and they did not steer away from the blood. It wasn't like, oh, we got blood. Okay, back away, and have the camera pan away from them until they can wash it off. No. In fact, they showed it. And it wasn't like the proverbial crimson mask kind of getting covered in blood. It was like the right kind of cut above the eye, you know, the kind that bleeds. And it was just, it poured over him. And it gave the dramatic effect. And, you know, everyone made this joke about Cody and AEW, including yours truly, that Cody was a stickler for consistently bleeding, and he did a lot there, but I'll say this. When it happens and it counts, man, it's an extra layer. It's like a cherry on top. And a good example on that, I want you to think back to the Stone Cold Bret Hart submission match. If Austin didn't get busted open in that match, that storytelling would not have been half as good as it was. So, it was, trying to think the right way to, yeah. AJ, he wound up bleeding the pace right after Cody wound up getting busted open. And he was just leading and dictating the pace from that point forward in the match. And at one point wound up teasing Cody's mom, who was ringside, Mama Rhodes. And listen. You know, when I get the chance, I'll listen to podcasts outside of the main event networks because, you know, I like to keep an open repertoire. And I'll say this, from what I've heard about Mama Rhodes, she is not a woman you want to mess with. Especially if Cody's saying she beat up an undercover cop at a Willie Nelson concert. Like, okay. Yeah, but AJ, he was teasing and taunting her, and then next thing you know, Mama Rhodes just straight up, boom, slapped AJ across the face, not once, but twice. Slapped AJ, and then after that, Cody, he wound up picking up some offense, and then started building up a comeback. But at one point, AJ wound up actually handcuffing Cody. It wasn't like normal prisoner handcuffs where it was super close together. It was those really long ones. Like the kind they use for like people that have like arthritis in their shoulders or their arms and they can't pull their hands really close together. Those kind. But Cody wound up eventually working his hands over to where they were in front of him as opposed to behind him. Took AJ out and then wound up miraculously finding the key because, well, to quote Jim Cornette, well, goddamn, can't go around planting handcuffs without having a motherfucking handcuff key, motherfucker. Yeah. But Cody wound up getting the handcuff key, undid himself, popped AJ with the handcuffs. Cody won the match, and on how he won the match, it was actually, I thought it was pretty clever. He handcuffed AJ to the ropes, and then once AJ realized, he was like, oh shit. And then Cody just grabbed a chair and wham! Waffled him with it like crazy on there. And then next thing after that, it was like, you give up, AJ? You give up? You give up? Screw you, Cody Rhodes. So then Cody then goes, grabs the metal stairs, brings it in, holds it over him, ready to go and drill it into AJ. And AJ just sees it. Whoa, wait. Okay, I quit. So to try and save himself from getting murked like that, and then bell rings, you hear the Cody's music, and then Cody just still holding the stairs, wham! Still decks him with it, and then drops it, takes his title, celebrates, and then has Mama Rhodes there, celebrates with Mama Rhodes. It was beautiful. I thought it was good. I thought it had good storytelling. I dug this match. Now we come to women's tag action. Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre going against Shayna, Baszler and Zoey Stark, going against Jade, Cargill and Bianca Belair. Needed the heart pills for this one. This really good. This had a nice solid start. The crowd They were chanting all for Jade, and they were eating out of the palm of her hand when she was in there, you know. And I'll say this, WWE, they were smart. They were smart on how they used Jade, on how they've been using Jade. You know, they introduced her at the Royal Rumble. They had the option of doing a Goldberg move and put her in there with like Goldberg and just have her demolish everyone. Or introduce her, pull her back to the PC, let her fine-tune her, and then bring her in when she's more ready. That was a smart move. They chose, instead of the Goldberg route, let's fine-tune her. And now they got her working tag matches, so that way her limitations are, for lack of a better term, handicapped. And it gives her a chance to still get repetition. And I'm all for it. Because, as the old saying goes, you know on how you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. You know on how you get to be one of the best, you know on how you get to be a really good wrestler? Practice, practice, practice. Same thing. But, you know, really liked on how they worked it. You know, I also really liked on how they worked on, at one point, to isolate Jade and Bianca, so that way Alba, Alba, Shayna, and Zoey were just like, alright, we'll take them out and fuck it, we'll go after each other, let's kill each other. And then eventually it started working with all three teams again. It was a good match, I really dug it. Match came to an end when Jade and Bianca, they took out Shayna, they did their double team move, and then just as they did that, Bianca, she got cornered by Alba Fyre. Isla Dawn came in, German Jade, and then pinned Shayna for the 1, 2, 3. So your winners and new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre. And oh lordy lordy, we are in a whole lot of trouble, folks, because we got two angry Scots women wearing championship gold. Heaven help whoever pisses them off. Next up, we got Chad Gable going up against, challenging Sami Zayn for his coveted Intercontinental Championship. And I gotta tell you, this was a damn good match. I really liked it. Good solid mat work, or not mat work, wrong choice of word. Solid classic wrestling kind of styled work to start with. Really liked it. Gable, he was leading the pace. And I thought it was good. I thought it had really great storytelling. This was definitely the most grounded wrestling match, I would say. Like, it had the most actual, like, classic traditional wrestling kind of stuff. Like old school grandpa graps. Excuse me. Now there were some shenanigans in it at one point, like Chad wound up going outside the ring, grabbing the title, looking at it like he's admiring it, like, soon baby, soon you'll be mine. Handed it to Maxxine, and then started working on Sami a little, and then threw Sami up against the rope, distracted the ref. All the while he's arguing with the ref, throwing hand signs at Maxxine like, do it now. And Maxine's just like, no, I'm not gonna. And then Chad just straight up loses it, starts ripping into her, yelling at her, chastising her, this, that, and the other. And Otis, a man amongst men, stands up for the woman. You don't get to talk like that. And then again, action ensues. There's some rigmarole, shenanigans going on outside. And then Sami winds up throwing Chad. Chad lands into Maxxine, who's wearing an air cast on her right ankle. He winds up clipping that, and then Otis sees that, and then Otis just, it's like a flip switch, and he just had that look like, you did not just lay hands on my girl, you motherfucker. Oh, you motherfucker. You want to die. You want to die, don't you? And the whole time Shad's just like, no, whoa, easy. Hey. I didn't. No, listen. But either way, like I said, Gable wound up clipping Maxxine. Otis, he was about to go and straight up murder Chad or Sami, because it was like, well, Gable hit her, but Gable wouldn't have if Sami didn't throw, and and he's about to, and then Maxxine's just like, Otis! No! Stand down. Otis then just goes over, scoops Maxxine up, takes her to the back. The whole time, Gable's yelling at him, where are you going? What's wrong with you? Stick to the plan. And then next thing you know, boom, gets popped with the haluva kick for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and still Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. Now, as far as what Alpha Academy goes, Monday night on Raw, it showed Otis, Maxxine, and Tozawa. They just straight up said, Chad, we're leaving you. We're done. Bye. So they're done with him. Hope nothing but the best for them going forward. I know what it's like to leave a toxic relationship like that, and it's like a huge burr. It's like an elephant off your chest. And then Chad, he's saying, you know what, I need to go and do bigger. I need to go do better. I need to win Money in the Bank and become world champion. And Chad Gable has a Money in the Bank qualifying match coming up next week, which we will talk about then. And whereas for Sami came out, talked about on how he interjected because he knows what it was like firsthand being in the bloodline, having to go through all that. He didn't want to see Otis, Maxxine, or Tozawa go through all that himself. But now that that's all behind him, he's looking to move forward and prove that he is a worthy Intercontinental Champion. Then out came the big bad booty nephew, Braun Breaker, going and saying he wants Sami. And then Sheamus came out and Jimmy straight up said, whoa. Hold on, kid. I've been chasing that title for a long while now. That's the one championship that's eluded me. I want it. I want first dibs. Them two started to have a bit of a match, and then it got thrown out because of Ludwig Kaiser. So, I'm not quite sure where we're going with that one just yet. But either way. Next up, we have Piper Niven going against Bayley. Sorry, Freudian slip. And Piper, she got a pretty decent hometown crowd welcome. And I was actually and I gotta say, I was impressed with that. Now, Piper, she was leading at the start and then Chelsea actually wound up getting kicked out at one point because she got on the apron, was yelling at the ref, and actually put her hands on him like, no, you're wrong. And then the ref's just looking like, did you just put your hands on me? What? And then when he kicked her out, the whole time she's yelling, I'm sorry, it was an accident. Listen, I'm not quite sure if the kids use this term still, but Chelsea Green understands the assignment. She understands her assignment and she shows up for it each and every week. There is no denying that. Now, Bayley, man, she was fighting from the ground up, but it was a good match. I thought it was a good match. And, not only that, the UK loves Bayley, especially anytime she's there because they always do the, hey, we want some Bayley chants. Oh, well, I want to know, are you gonna be my girl? They always do that chant for Bayley. I can't knock that. But good match. I liked it. Bayley wound up getting the win. What it was, Piper, she had Bayley up, tried to go for like a drive for like the crucifix driver. Bayley then countered it into a crucifix pin, and that just had a big when Bayley did that, man, I don't know if they set that up intentionally or not, but if you got Peacock, go and check that out, because that thud when Piper hit the ground, man, that sounded almost kind of like a shotgun blast, or like a 50-pound block just dropping to the ground, like, oh, damn. But Bayley got the win, 1, 2, 3, so your winner, and still WWE Women's Champion Bayley. So now we come to main event of the night. The Scottish Warrior, the hometown boy himself, only a half hour away from Glasgow. Drew McIntyre going up against El Champion Damian Priest. And nice, good, solid start. You know, like the action that the guys were delivering. And I got to tell you, like, I've gone over this time and time again, but I will say it until I'm blue in the face, and even then, I'll still probably say it. My favorite kind of wrestling to watch, you would think, is like hardcore or ultra-violent. And while that is fun to watch, that's not my favorite. My favorite is seeing when you see the two big giant guys like this that are actually athletic and can work. You know, not like just two big guys that look like the LJN figures and you're smashing them against each other. No, when you got two big dudes that are like 6'6", 6'8", or whatever, and can actually move around like they're maybe 210 or 220. And it's just like, damn, these guys can work. Holy hell. That's my favorite kind to see, because I actually like seeing that. That's just me, though. You know, we all got our own different kinds of wrestling we like to watch. And I'm not going to knock you. But either way, there was a moment where it was a little scary, because Priest, he went to go for one of his signature moves. I seen it. I've been watching Damian Priest since Ring of Honor, okay? And he would always do this signature move where he'd run, jump up onto the middle rope, and then use the middle rope for leverage to jump over the rope to do a suicide over the top. Now, he went to go do it, and his leg actually got caught and wrapped around it. Like, almost kind of like a bread twist, like crossed over. And his ankle was caught in it, and it was kind of scary. It was scary because legitimately the following night on Raw, Priest said, you know, he got hurt. Nothing too bad, but there were thoughts of he may have to have relinquished the title, or he may have had to lose his ankle. But because you could see him afterwards, after that happened, he was like stomping his foot, like boom, 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 checking to make sure he got feeling in it, he can move it, he had mobility. But he was able to work the rest of the match. He didn't have any kind of problems, at least none that he showed. He wasn't limping, but it was scary to see. Either way, though, excuse me. Solid action. I really dug this. This was probably, well, there's no probably. This was hands down match of the fucking night. Outside of Isla and Alba, this was match of the fucking night. Now, the ref actually wound up taking a ref bump, and then just as that happened, Drew, boom, popped a Claymore. He goes, covers Priest, and you could hear the crowd counting up to 10. Nothing. You see a ref run down, go do 1, 2, and then just stop and say, just 2. Next thing you know, Drew picks his head up, looks, and it looks like he's seeing the ghost of Christmas Past, and the camera pans, and you see, it's CM Punk. And it's just like, and Punk's just like, hi. Drew then goes, corners Punk, grips him up by the shirt. You son of a bitch! You better not have cost me my fucking title. And then Punk, boom, low blow, kicks him right in the nuts. Gets it, rolls out. Next thing you know, Priest grabs Drew, hits him with the south side of heaven. 1, 2, 3. following night on Raw, we see the return of the CrossFit Jeebus, Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it. And he talks about on how Money in the Bank is coming up, and he was thinking about maybe entering the Money in the Bank match. And then Priest came out, talked about the highlights about what I was saying about with the match, and then said that, no, listen, bro. Instead of you going to qualify for the Money in the Bank, how about just you and me at Money in the Bank for my World Heavyweight Championship? Because I'm a whole different cat now compared to when we fought before. And so, no tricks, no gimmicks. This is all just me. So I'm asking you right now, yes or no? You and me at Money in the Bank. Do you want it? And then Seth, yes. So then, yeah. So it's official. At Money in the Bank, we're going to have Damian Priest defending his title against Seth Rollins. Now, whereas for Drew, the following night on Raw, he came out, addressed the crowd, and was like, yeah. I can't do this. I quit. And then just dropped the mic and walked out. He got in the back. You see him getting in Hunter's face and Gorilla saying, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. I freaking quit. And then you see Adam Pearce trying to talk to him. Drew, he deactivated all of his socials. So where this leads to from here, honestly, I don't know. I know WWE is doing a partnership deal with TNA. They had Tatum Paxley at the TNA Hard to Kill pay-per-view, much like they had Jordan Grace at NXT Battleground. But honestly, I would not mind seeing if Drew wound up working TNA for a small bit. And, working TNA for a small bit, and then, because it's nothing's written in stone yet, but you could see the writing on the walls. You could read the tea leaves and see. We're getting CM Punk versus McIntyre at SummerSlam. There's no doubt on that. And if it's not at SummerSlam, it's definitely at the September show, whatever that is. But, yeah. So, this is really a great time to be a wrestling fan, like I said, because there's so many variables, so much unpredictability. You can't just say, oh, well, this is going to happen. I mean, you obviously know we're getting Punk and McIntyre, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's the part that's the unpredictable. Smart money's on SummerSlam, obviously, but still, nothing's written in stone yet. But either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. Excuse me. So please, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, take a snapshot, show you subscribed, show me on Twitter at TimVicious. You're entered into the raffle to win a Vicious Rants shirt. And if you're listening to this on the RSS feed, exclusively on Spotify, check us out. Leave us a 5-star review if you feel we've deserved it. Please subscribe to the channel on there as well. And folks, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, check out WhatAManeuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel like you see me wearing right now. We got tanks, which is perfect for summer weather. We got t-shirts. We got toddler tees. We got baby onesies. We got women's tees. We got long sleeves. Perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or a shirt you just need to go and buy so you can give to Goodwill. Also, folks, don't forget to check out these cool-ass cats right out on the Twitter, DSB_IV, main event _net, the Main Event Wrestling Network Twitter feed, Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D Dryer 1986. I am on Twitter at TimVicious as well. And folks, like I always tell you, if you love me, great. Excuse me. And if you hate me, well,
Shut up and sit down.
Fuck yes.